Valaquenta, the account of the Valar. When I dreamed again, the first music still echoed faintly, as if carried from beyond the stars. I found myself walking through a vast sky of living light, where shapes of majesty moved like the thoughts of Ilúvatar made visible. It seemed to me that I beheld the beginning of the world's shaping. Those who had come forth at the One's command were to adorn the vision that had been sung. The Valar, the powers of the world, the greatest of the Ainur who entered Ea to bring order to its forming. And with them were many lesser spirits of the same kind, the Maiar, whose brightness was dimmed only by their humility and service. I was made to see the heart of Manwë, High King of Arda. His spirit was most attuned to the will of Ilúvatar. The airs and winds obeyed him. The clouds gathered at his thought. He was tall and serene, his eyes bright as clear skies after rain. Around him the very air shimmered with joy and freedom, for his nature was peace, though his wrath, when stirred, could shake the heavens. With him was his beloved Varda Elentari, Lady of the Stars, who in the beginning kindled the first lights of the heavens. She seemed to me the most radiant of all beings, her face veiled in a light so pure that my heart trembled with longing. In her presence all darkness fled. Among the elves her name is holy, for we remember that she blessed the stars under which we first awoke beside the waters of Quivianen. Far below, I saw Ulmo, Lord of Waters, dwelling not in halls, but in the deeps of the sea. He was vast and solitary, older in thought than any save Manwë and Melkor. His spirit filled every river and rain, every fountain and foam upon the shore. The sound of the sea was his voice, at once gentle and terrible. He came seldom to the councils of the Valar, for his realm lay apart, yet his music never ceased to shape the world. Even in my dream I heard it, the sigh of waves, the laughter of brooks, and I knew that Ulmo's song still lives in all waters. Then I beheld Olli the smith, master of crafts, who wrought the substance of the world. His hands were mighty and tireless, and his forge burned with the light of creation itself. He delighted in all making and invention, shaping metals, stones, and gems that glowed with inner fire. Though his power was great, his heart was humble, and he desired not dominion but the joy of creation. Beside him was his spouse Yavanna Kementari, the giver of fruits, clothed in green and gold. Her spirit was the life of all things that grow. The grass beneath my feet, the leaves whispering above me, the corn that feeds the living. Where she passed, the world blossomed anew. It was said that in her heart she foresaw all forests and flowers that would ever be. Next I saw the Feanturi, the brothers of spirit, Mandos and Lorien. Mandos, whose true name is Namo, is keeper of the houses of the dead and pronouncer of fate. His gaze pierced through all veils of time and truth. He spoke seldom, but when he did, none could gainsay him, for he uttered only the dooms of Ilúvatar. His halls were vast and silent, where the souls of the departed waited for judgment or healing. His brother Lorien, whose name among us is Ulmo, was the master of dreams and visions. His gardens were filled with soft light and healing rest, a place of renewal for weary spirits. It was said that from his domain, the fair dreams of the elves and the faint hopes of men are woven and sent into the world. With them dwelt their sister, Nienna, the lady of pity and mourning, robed in gray. Her tears were endless, but not in despair. They were the tears of mercy. Through her sorrow, the hearts of the wise are made stronger and more compassionate. As I watched, I thought I saw her weeping over the music itself, and even her grief became part of its beauty. Then came Tulkas Astaldo, the strong, whose joy is in strength and laughter. He entered the world last, yet his coming brought great delight to the Valar, for he was a being of pure vigor and mirth. His hair shone like gold in the sun, and his laughter rang like a trumpet in the wind. He delighted in contests, in running and wrestling, and his spirit was swift as fire. Yet he had no love of craft or deep thought, and his strength was given wholly to the service of good. Beside Mandos, I saw his wife, Vaire the weaver, who weaves all things that have been into her tapestries. Her weaving filled the halls of Mandos with stories, the history of the world unfolding in threads of gold and shadow. Every deed, every joy, every sorrow was preserved in her work. And I saw also Esta the gentle, spouse of Lorien, who walked softly through her husband's gardens. She wore gray like the twilight, and her touch brought healing to body and mind alike. Many of the Maiar serve her, and through her gift of rest even the Valar find renewal. There was also Orome Alderon, the great hunter, strong and fierce in battle against the creatures of shadow. His steed, Nahar, shone white as moonlight, and the sound of his horn, Valaroma, rolled like thunder across the hills. He loved the wide lands of the world, the forests and the living creatures within them. It was Orome who first found the elves beside Cuivianin, and it was said that his heart loved us from the first moment he beheld us. His spouse was Vanna the ever-young, sister of Yavanna, in whose presence flowers opened and birds sang unbidden. Yet not all that I saw was light, for among them had been Melkor, mightiest of the Ainur, to whom Ilúvatar had given the greatest gifts of power and knowledge. But his heart grew proud, and he sought to make things of his own imagining, not in harmony with the music, but against it. He desired to rule rather than serve, to master the will of others. Thus he became the first rebel, the source of discord, and through him entered envy, cruelty, and destruction. Around the Valar moved a host of lesser spirits, the Maiar, kindled from the same flame of Eru, yet differing in splendor and strength. Their number was beyond counting, and they served their lords in every corner of the world. Among them I saw Manwë, banner-bearer and herald of Manwë, whose might in arms none of his kin could equal. Beside Varda stood Ilmare, her handmaid, radiant as starlight. Near the shores of the sea dwelt Ossa and Uinen, servants of Ulmo. Ossa loved the wild waves and the roaring storms, and his laughter could shake ships and cliffs alike. But Uinen, his wife, was calmer, beloved by all mariners, for she soothed the seas and tamed his fury. There was also Melian, once of Lorien's people, who later walked among the elves of Middle-earth and became a queen among them, blending the grace of the Valar with the beauty of the Eldar. Many more there were whose names are forgotten or hidden, yet their presence fills the world still. As I beheld these mighty ones, it seemed to me that I was gazing not merely upon beings, but upon principles of creation, love, strength, wisdom, mercy, and beauty, all drawn from the thought of Ilúvatar and woven into the very fabric of Arda. The Valar were the guardians of the world, not as masters, but as stewards of its harmony, each according to their gift. Their labor shaped the earth, the seas, the stars, and the living things that dwell within them. Their power flows still in the wind, the waters, the stone, and the light. Then the vision faded. The bright shapes dissolved into dawn, and the sea murmuring faintly beyond the hills. But the memory of that dream lingers, a living song echoing in my heart. Art. For in truth, all the beauty of the world is but a reflection of that first light, and every whisper of wind, every glimmer of starlight, still bears the echo of the Valar who sang it into being.